So the Polymaker Fiberon line just dropped. Is it the best filament there is? Let's break some things and find out. Hey everyone, I'm Scott, Edge of 3D, and this is my homemade Izod tester. So if you've been watching my channel for the last month or so, since Polymaker announced the new Fiberon line of filaments, I was supplied with a bunch of that filament. I built a death racer for them to use at their launch at Rapid in Anaheim, California, and I've been doing some testing on it, and I'm sure by now you've heard this, what somebody called a bar trick, but the metallic sound of this PPS carbon fiber. You've probably seen the test where I break lots of stuff, and as you can see here, this is just the parts I've been able to find that I've broke. They're scattered all over. So I need to preface this by saying the PPS carbon fiber that we were supplied, all of us that got this for testing, it is not the same formula that's on the website for sale right now. I just found out the other day, this is PPS-CF 15. What they're actually selling is PPS-CF 10. So they've reduced the carbon fiber content in the polymer by 5%, and it had to do with bendability because, as I showed you in an earlier video, this is dried filament ready to go through the printer, but you cannot bend it. You see there, it doesn't take much of a bend before it breaks. Well, when you try to load that into some of the printers you got nowadays where they make multiple bends and all that, you wind up with pieces like this all throughout your printer. In fact, I just broke off the other end of this in a printer in the other room, taking this out to bring it in here. So, I've done the test where we take these hooks, put them in this jig, break them. That's a tensile test. Printed both horizontally and vertically. Horizontally test the tensile strength of the material. Vertically basically tests the layer adhesion. More recently, the other day, somebody was asking about putting heat sets into PPS-CF, so I came up with another test where put heat sets into PPS carbon fiber. This little jig right here, put it in here, pull it, and see what it takes to pull it out of there. I've only done the PPS carbon fiber so far, and on the first one, the layer adhesion gave out before the heat set gave out. On the second one, which is this one here, my homemade tester gave out before the heat set gave out, and it peaked out just under 150 pounds of pull, and yeah, it's fine, it didn't break. So, moving on from there, everything makes it sound like this is just the greatest of all time filament. Heat resistance, it's strong, it's not flexible, just so many different things about it. It's got no flex. You can't, I really have to work at it to flex that. So on the surface it all looks like it's the greatest material. It does have some drawbacks. It takes a hot printer. You got to be able to get your hot end up a minimum of 320. I've been printing all my parts at 345, though in this one test here, if you go back and watch that video, and I'll put a link to the graph in the video description down below, the stuff printed at 320 actually had a higher tensile strength than the stuff printed at 345, which I don't know if that's an anomaly or not. I haven't gone back and repeated those tests, but I will as time allows. So here comes the next test, the shear test, which that's what this is an Izod shear tester. And I'm going to say, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a scientist, I don't use any standards. I use TLAR is the standard I do my testing by. And if you don't know what that is, it's called That Looks About Right. And this looks about right. So I come up with these tests and I make sure that they're repeatable, and as long as I can repeat something over and over again, then I can test other materials with the same methodology and generate this is better than this in this test. This is better than this in this test. So an Izod tester, basically you take a part. I got these off CNC Kitchen, or got the idea off of it. I actually designed the part myself, but you know, it's copied off of him. And it's a shear test, but this is printed to CNC Kitchen standards. Link in the video description down below. All of these parts, with the exception of the PLA ones here, are printed on the same printer. The PLA ones are printed on a brand new Voron that I'm setting up right now, and I'm using these as test prints. So it's not tuned, calibrated, anything. All the rest of these parts are printed on the same exact printer, in the same exact environment, filament dried to the same level, in the 10 to 20% range. And that way I'm trying to compare apples to apples. But, so this is my Izod tester. Somebody on a forum the other day made a comment about it being a Pokemon tester, something about the red and white. That's just a piece of paper on there, so I have something to mark. But basically what I do with this is, there's nothing in the vise right now, and there you go, I just broke off another piece. There's nothing in the vise right now, so we'll get a free swing on it. So that's a free swing. That's how far it goes when there's nothing to hit in the vise. And I'll go ahead and mark that line, and that's our free swing line. So let's start with PLA. Most common filament out there right now. We'll put that in the vise, and we'll go ahead and cut it loose. And there's where PLA snaps at in the shear test. Now, I don't have any black ABS, so this is red ABS. Meters reset. And I don't know how well the mic picked it up, but you could hear it was a lot harder thump when it hit. So this is ABS here. Now we'll test ASA. ABS and ASA are the most commonly used materials for custom 3D printers. Got a Voron in the other room. It's printed all in ASA. I've got a Trident in there. It's a mix of ABS and ASA. I've built Mercury ones. I built belt printers. I built one-off custom printers, and I use ABS, ASA for most of them. So we'll try the ASA here and see how it fares. And it's not as strong as the ABS in this test. And now finally, for the material that this machine can't break, let's give the PPS carbon fiber a shot. Meters reset, PPS carbon fiber, let's let it fly. And it fared not as good as the ABS and the ASA. Still fared better than the PLA, but it's right on par with the ASA. And just for good measure, we'll break one more just to see if we can repeat the same results. And mind you, there's a lot of variables here. This is not a scientific instrument. It's something that I thought looked about right, so I drew it up in Fusion 360, and I printed the parts, and yeah, here we go. And that one actually didn't do as good as the last one. You'll see it bumped it up a little bit further, but I also didn't reset the meter, so there's the drag of the meter here that was taken out of it, which means that result is invalid. Now our meter's reset, let's hit it again. And we're right back where we were before, right in the range of the last one and the ASA. So that's the PPS carbon fiber in a nutshell. it doesn't take a shock load as well as ABS and ASA. Is it a good material for making printers? I'm going to find out. I'm building a Voron 2.4 out of it, so we'll see how it holds up a year from now. Like I say, the drawbacks, number one, the price. $80 I think it is, or $70. I'll put the prices in the description down below. The website's live now. It's in the description down below. You can go on there and order it. Anyway, $70 for a half a kilogram, so $140 a kilogram. $69.99 and $149.98 or $139.98. I'm not mathing well today. But that's one of the drawbacks, the cost. It is expensive. Do you really need it? Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're going to build an enclosed printer and heat the chamber on it, yeah, having those parts inside there with their heat rejection ability would be fantastic, because it does have some fantastic heat deflection. Cost-wise, it's expensive. Printer-wise, you got to have a printer that can print it. I'm printing it on a Voron Trident. I'm running a Rapido hot end in there with a NTC 100 thermistor, so I can run it up to 450. No problem there. It really doesn't have to have the bed plate all that hot. I think there's specs. In fact, it's right here on this label. Bed temperature up to 80 degrees. I think mine's at 85, so right in that range. As far as a heated chamber or even an enclosed printer, it says it doesn't need it, but right now I don't have an open printer that can take that kind of heat to test it on. So I've obviously been printing it in an enclosed printer, but not with an actively heated chamber, not even a well-sealed chamber. And a couple of the others that are new to the lineup that came on today are a PET carbon fiber. Let me see if I have one of those ready that's printed. This isn't printed vertically, so that's not a good test. I don't think I have any of those printed vertically for this particular. Here's a PA612 carbon fiber that's printed horizontally, and a PA12 carbon fiber, which those aren't new to the lineup. They're just being moved over to the lineup. And that appears to be it. How about a COPA as well? This one does not have carbon fiber. Let's go ahead and see how it does. So this is the Polymaker COPA, and so far the best in the shear test, which I knew that because I've already broken several of them. I don't remember which side of the needle I was marking on, but for this purpose we'll mark it there. Here's a PA12 carbon fiber. And it done marginally worse than the PC carbon fiber and the ASA, but it's all right there in the very same range. I'll take a picture of this and post it somewhere out here in this black space so you can see. Obviously I didn't write down what's on them. And for the last one, this is a PA612 carbon fiber. Again, not part of the new lineup, but it's what I have printed up here and ready. Meters reset. And again, right up there in the same range as all the rest of them. So COPA right here did the best. This is just a free fall. And the PPS carbon fiber, all of them right here in the same range. Now, as I get this machine more refined, I am going to put electronics on here, a Hall effect sensor, use an Arduino, and get peak readings, which won't be calibrated to anything. It won't give us a weight or anything like that. It's just numbers to build a graph. So you can look at a chart and say, well, in this test, this material did better than this. That's all it's for. So that's it. It went live today. Same time this video dropped. The Polymaker Fiberon website went live. You can go on there and order it. The link to my Polymaker affiliate is in the video description down below. I'd really appreciate it if you use that when you order your filament. Gives me a little commission, helps pay for some of this testing equipment. Polymaker supplies me with the filament. All the rest of it I buy out of my pocket, so every little bit helps. Hope you find these interesting. Hope you find them helpful. I plan on doing a lot more. I'm still working on refining this. This is the now the 4th hammerhead that I've built for this. Machining them out of aluminum on my Milo mini mill. And when I get this where it's performing the way I want it, get the electronics built for it so that it uses a Hall effect sensor instead of just a pencil and paper. You know, it's all a work in progress. It all takes time. This isn't my full-time job. I have one of those. This is a hobby, so I get to it as I can. I appreciate each and every one of you that watch these videos. If you think this information is helpful, you like it, hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more of them, hit that subscribe. Drop a comment in the down below, and that always helps as well. I try to read and respond to every one of them, except when a video blows up, it's kind of hard to keep up with them. But again, thank you for your time. I hope you find this helpful. Hope you find this information useful. I'm going to keep producing it. I've got a whole bunch of testing I want to do. It's all going to take time. Get out there, take a look at the new filaments, try some of it out. I will be testing the PET carbon fiber and the PETG carbon fiber right away. In fact, they're printing now. I will tell you that you cannot heat up the PETG carbon fiber to the same temperatures that all the rest of them takes, because it does that. And as you can see, it doesn't take heat very well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one, and as always, peace out.